Titans United, number 1. The Titans face their greatest challenge, their own powers. Nightwing, Donna Troy, Superboy, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, and Red Hood kick off a thrilling new case that will lead one of their own to question not only their place on the team, but their very existence. I Am Batman, number 1. In the throes of Future State, the streets of Gotham City cry for justice, and Jace Fox answers the call. With a new and improved Batsuit, Jace hits the streets to inspire and protect as he follows the trail of the voice of misinformation and violence, the anarchistic anti-Oracle. Can the new Dark Knight counterbalance their plan to inspire armed rebellion in the citizens of Gotham? Can one man inspire a city? Harley Quinn, the animated series, the Eat Bang Kill Tour, number 1. Harley and Ivy on the road trip of the century. Following the wedding disaster of the decade, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy end up on the run from Commissioner Gordon and the GCPD. But as fun as all that sounds, Ivy still worries over leaving Kite Man at the altar. Luckily, Harley's got the perfect scheme to shake her out of her wedding day blues. Nobody's Child, number 1. In an unspecified time in the future, it is discovered that with a special breed of albino rhinoceros, there is a genetic code that holds the properties to regenerate man, that can cure all diseases, even those very serious. As a result, in a short period of time, this albino rhino becomes nearly extinct, leaving just one, Sabium. Enter Bakari, a boy dealing with his own devastation, who now decides to dedicate his life to protecting this rhino. Ma, number 1. What happens when one woman becomes the real monster society has always made her out to be? Dragged by her sister Wendy to a feminist retreat on the remote island of Angita, Marion Angela Weber hopes to gain some perspective and empowerment. That isn't the bottom of a bottle. But everything is horribly deranged after an assault on their first night there. The violent encounter awakens something in Marion she never imagined, triggering warped mutations in her body and awakening a hunger she can't bring herself to name. When the townsfolk react with suspicion and violence, what unforgivable act will transform Marion into the very monster they've made her out to be? A provocative 5-issue horror series by award-winning journalist and opinion writer Jude Ellison S. Doyle, Dead Blondes and Bad Mothers, Monstrosity, Patriarchy, and the Fear of Female Power, and artist A.L. Kaplan, Full Spectrum Theory, that explores the anger of women trapped by society's expectations and the reclamation of power through collective rage, perfect for readers of Redlands and Something in Killing the Children. Primordial, number 1. Mind-bending sci-fi collides with Cold War thriller in the 6-issue miniseries by the best-selling and Eisner-winning creative team behind Gideon Falls. In 1957, the USSR launched the dog Laika into Earth's orbit. 2 years later, the USA responded with 2 monkeys, Abel and Baker. These animals never returned, but unbeknownst to everyone, they did not die in orbit. They were taken, and now they're coming home. Star Wars, War of the Bounty Hunters, Boushh, number 1. The secret origin of Boushh. Before Princess Leia acquired his armor to infiltrate Jabba the Hutt's palace, Boushh roamed the galaxy as a bounty hunter. He and his team of lethal warriors were exiled from their homeworld, but what horrible event from Boushh's past doomed them all to wander with no hope of ever returning? Desperate to survive, Boushh takes a suspicious job from a shadowy organization to assassinate Domina Tag and leader of the powerful Tag family, a galactic dynasty stretching back countless generations. But Domina is the most dangerous enemy Boushh has ever faced, and the desperate exile has the most difficult choice of his life to make. Alyssa Wong and David Baldion's one-shot is the third of 4 action-packed War of the Bounty Hunters tie-ins about the criminal underworld's most notorious hunters and scoundrels, all told by the best Star Wars writers and illustrators in the galaxy. Eternals, Thanos Rises, number 1. Eternals are created, not born. They have families, but their families make new children. It's simply not what Eternals do. Some of them thought they could find a way to change that and believe it would be for the best. They were terribly, terribly wrong. The Last Annihilation, Wakanda, number 1. Orphans of Empire. With the universe itself at stake, Black Panther enlists the might of the intergalactic empire of Wakanda to help stop the dreaded Dormammu, and leading the Wakandan forces is none other than the legendary M'Baku. Will T'Challa and M'Baku be able to defeat Dormammu's army of mindless ones? Don't miss the critical chapter of the Last Annihilation event as a new hero emerges.